Britain is under siege. 12,000 illegal migrants have now arrived since Christmas, coming through Dover, and now our prisons are full as well. There's a state of emergency in the prisons. They're going to start letting people out. Oh, that's a good idea. How long can this government pretend it's in control? Nigel Farage says it's time to declare a state of emergency. And frankly, I agree with him. What about you? That's what we're discussing in this video today. Welcome back to my channel, John Gaunt TV. And if you care about border control, UK sovereignty, and the rule of law, hit the like button, subscribe to John Gaunt TV on YouTube, because today's topic affects every single citizen living in this country. As I say, Nigel Farage has demanded a state of emergency. It doesn't look like Keir Starmer will give it him, but that's what he wants. Let's just talk about this to set the kind of boundaries to the discussion. As I just said, 12,000 people now, mostly men of fighting age, have come in via Dover. I don't know about you, but that scares the hell out of me. And what's he doing about it? Not much, although he did say today, Starmer, I get it. He gets it again, guys, so we can all relax. He says, you're angry about immigration. It's a bit more than just anger, though, Mr. Keir Starmer. I'm not going to call him sir anymore. It's a lot more than anger. It's going to boil over unless you're careful. I make no apologies for having to return to this subject. Keir Starmer is forcing me. His inability to deal with this subject is getting on my nerves, and it's quite easy to deal with, as Nigel Farage has pointed out today. The small boats crisis has reached a critical tipping point. Over 12,000 illegal migrants have crossed the Channel since Christmas. And now the UK's prisons are overflowing. They're going to run out of space. So they've got this mad idea they're going to let people out on license again. So there's going to be rising public anger about that. Also, there's been shocking terror links or related and put in the papers today that maybe one of the Iranian terrorists who got into the country got in via Dover. That should scare the hell out of you and Keir Starmer. So national security is now at risk. What about him having his car attacked? We don't know who that was yet. The government must act and act now. Do you agree with me? If you do, press the like button. Nigel Farage, as I say, is calling on the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, to declare a state of emergency and deploy immediate measures to protect the country. I say the public demand action. No more platitudes, Starmer. And these are the key issues we're going to look at tonight. The small boats crisis. It continues unchecked at Dover. 12,000 plus illegal channel crossings since January. The UK prisons are now full and foreign criminals are still here. 10,000 foreign criminals. Let's deport them immediately. The Iranian terrorist suspect may have entered via the Channel. I say get the Royal Navy in the Channel, get the army to defend the coast, get out of the ECHR, fast-track deportations, and deport the foreign prisoners today. And to hell with what Europe says. We've got to be Trumpian and just say we're protecting our country. It's no longer just a border issue, guys. It's a threat to law, order, and the safety of British citizens. Starmer says he understands public anger, but now he must act decisively. I'm saying that with my tongue in the cheek because he won't. Do you believe he should now call a national emergency? We know he won't, but do you think he should? Let's have your opinion. Jake Morton Brown's first on. He says, good evening, Sir Gaunt. Yeah, I'll take his knighthood. This government is definitely not in control and never will be. The longer they're in power, the better reform will do. I don't know whether we can wait 4 years, Jake. I certainly don't think we can wait much longer. I don't think we'll get through the summer without riots the way it's going. He's got to call a state of emergency. If you want to join in, please write your comments up on the side. Let's have your opinion. So we're going to be talking about the prisons as well. They're now going to release even more prisoners. Some of this, got to be fair, goes back to the Conservatives, because the Conservatives didn't build the prisons and they're the ones who put the sentences in. However, the time for blame is over. Let's just get it sorted, can we, Keir Starmer? Because that's what the public are demanding. Right. So the prisons are full. No, hang on a bit. Yeah, the small boats crisis is getting much worse. Just trying to get the right place where I want to be. And today it was revealed one of the Iranian terror suspects may have come through Dover, through the beach. That makes it a national security issue. Meanwhile, the prisons are full. It was announced today. By November, there'll be no more prison spaces in male prisons. So the system is completely and utterly overloaded. Foreign criminals, many of whom should have been deported years ago, in my opinion, are occupying cells whilst British offenders are left waiting, some of them even for the trial. Justice delayed is justice ignored. What do you think about this situation? One of the things that they've come up with today is to release some of them on license. And then if they do misbehave, they only go back for a minimum of 28 days. This is all wrong. I'll give Starmer his due. He has ordered some new prisons to be built, but he'll be out of office by then. It'll be a good 10 years before they're built. So it's not all his fault. It's some of the fault of the Tories, the idiots before. But we can't argue about that now. Why don't we just move to a new position? Why not just say we're going to deport all 10,000 foreign criminals over the next few months? That will free up space immediately. That will relax the prison problem. That's just plain common sense. Do you agree with me? But instead, Starmer is stuck pointing fingers at the previous Tory government, having a go at them today in the Commons, being all clever and obnoxious, but failing to act himself. And this is what's wrong. All of those people in the Commons, they just want to keep having the same arguments. We, the British people, have gone past that. We don't want 12,000 migrants since Christmas. I don't know if you saw Patrick Christie's, his report on GB News. They are taking the Michael. They're coming here and demanding the houses now. This has got to stop. I don't blame those individuals wanting to have a better life. But what I am saying is we can't have a situation where any Tom, Dick, Abdul, Mohammed, Sammy, Fred, Bert can come in. Can we? And they're all men, of course. And they're all of fighting age. And that should scare you, because it scares me. Declare a state of emergency. Starmer can't even admit his government is in a right state. That's very true. Thank you, Jake, for your comments. If you want to make a comment, we can't just do it all with Jake. Please feel free. If you want to press the like button because you like what I talk about, please do that. That really, really helps. Enid says on Facebook, yes, I do. He has to go. A state of emergency is the only way forward. He is beyond stupid. I presume you're talking about Mr. Starmer. We're not calling him Sir Keir Starmer anymore. It's Starmer or Mr. Starmer. Are you with me? Right, let's get on with it then. So Farage wants a state of emergency. I've taken it a bit further because I think we've got to involve the prisons now as well. So I'm saying we need the Royal Navy patrolling in the Channel. We've only got about 6 boats. Put most of them in the Channel. Intercept those boats and tow them back to France. And I don't give a SH1T what little Macron says. We just do a Trump on him. They're your problem. There you are. You can have them back. Well, no, that's not on. But I said, we're not interested in your bleating. Shut up. Put the British Army on the beaches. If they saw a load of commandos or Royal Marines walking up and down that beach, tooled up. I'm not suggesting they start shooting people, by the way, but tooled up with all their guns and all their machinery and with their dinghies in the water to apprehend anyone, I think they'd think twice about coming over. They've all got brand new mobile phones. We just put the footage up on YouTube or on Facebook. It will deter them, won't it? Whereas at the moment, the footage they're seeing is people getting in a boat. They see that boat, that dinghy, get to Dover with the dinghy boys. They hear everyone shouting Allah Akbar, jumping out of the boat, nobody on the beach to greet them. If they're lucky, they might get greeted before by the RNLI, the lifeboat people. But otherwise, they're free as a bird. And they go up the beach and off they go. But most of them don't even bother doing that because they've found out that if they get apprehended, what will happen to them is they'll say, oh, I've got no documents. They'll get clean clothes, warm clothes, they'll get well fed, and then they'll get bussed in a coach to a 3 or 4 star hotel to stay in until their claim is looked at, which is on the 12th of bloody never, because that's another thing we've got to sort out. Whereas if the army were on the beach, they were apprehended and they were taken straight to an army camp. And I say use tents, army tents. I say treat these people humanely. All the medical provision will be there, all the food, all the clothes. If that's what we have to do until we can move them back out, that's what we do. But if we can stop them actually landing on Dover and just turn the boats back round and do what the French are doing. The French are helping them get in the boats in Calais. They're also helping them navigate across the busiest shipping lane in the world, the English Channel, so they don't get injured until they get in English waters. Then it's bon voyage, and the French are going back home for a quick baguette. It's unbelievable what we're allowing to happen. Well, I say let's just stop being the weak man of Europe, because we're not in Europe anymore. And this is where we're going to lead on to. This is why we've got to get out of the ECHR. Are you with me or against me? It's a bold plan, yes, but at this point, it's absolutely necessary. And you know what? Farage said all this today, and a lot of them were poo-pooing it. Mark my words, in a couple of months, they'll all be wanting it. Starmer made his big speech the other day. He suddenly became a mini-me Nigel Farage. He'll have to go further. Because just in terms of sheer numbers, this is unsustainable. Keir Starmer was on Twitter. I nearly choked on my Alpen, if I ate Alpen, this morning. He said, I know you're angry about immigration. I get it. And then he blathered on about a load of other nonsense. I know you're angry about immigration. I get it. Well, number one, Starmer, we don't need empty words. And number two, I don't believe you. I don't think you do get it. You're an open borders man. You don't believe in countries. You want every Tom, Dick and Abdul to come here because it's the uber liberal way. Well, we, the British people, don't want it. And anybody who says I'm not going to be able to talk for the majority, look at any poll, P-O-L-L, not P-O-L-E. We need strong leaders. We need fast-track deportations and laws that work in our interest, the interest of the great British public, not Brussels. Are you with me or are you against me? It is the John Gaunt Show. What else could it be? If you like it, come on, get that like button pressed. If you want to donate to keep these things going, feel free. You can see I'm back in my studio today, can't you? I've got my backdrop and everything. Look at that. It's quite a good one, that. Yeah. So I've got my backdrop. Everything's hunky-dory. I've had a good few days and my daughter's looking after her dog. He's better now. And so I'm on full throttle, demanding that we put the troops on the beaches, that we put the Navy in the Channel, and we stop this nonsense. I reckon 1 week of hard reaction like that would probably do it, maybe 2 weeks. But we had 1,000 people today. I think it's 1,000 or 1,100 today. Just add the days up. The weather's glorious. They're going to keep coming, aren't they? We've got to have a state of emergency, unless you want a mugger or a rapist living next to you. And also, a lot of these guys, not a lot, sorry, I shouldn't say that. There has been enough rapes, murders, sexual assaults and crime linked to some of these people who have come through Dover, including this Iranian so-called terrorist. We've got to wake up, smell the coffee, and sort it out. Yes? By the way, talking of coffee, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, be great. Thank you very much indeed. www.buymeacoffee.com. Let's take some more views. What worries me, John, with a state of emergency, I'm going to put that up, with a state of emergency with this particular Labour government still in power, is more oppression, or suppression it should be, I think, of free speech, less rights and liberty for the average bod, and all in the name of increased security. I agree with you, Chopper. That is a worry. That is a worry. But sometimes you've got to put those worries to one side. We've got to protect our borders. We don't know who's in the country. They don't even know who's in our prisons. 2 prison officers today got attacked at Wood Hill Prison. We had the madman Abide's brother chucking boiling water over prison wardens the other day. And then the other one did it as well, didn't he? This is ridiculous. We're treating them with kid gloves. We shouldn't be doing that. And like I keep saying, not all of these illegal migrants are criminals, rapists, murderers, whatever. But we don't know what they are. That's the problem. Please give me your comments. Plenty to talk about today. Absolute plenty. Let's go back to where we are. So, the first duty, of course, of any government is the protection of its citizens. Right now, do you think Starmer is fulfilling that duty, or do you think he's failing? I think he's a miserable failure. There's already been enough reports, as I say, of rape, murder and assault linked to undocumented men who entered illegally. Again, let me just stress, that isn't me saying all of them are rapists. I'm not saying that. But you can't have a situation where you don't even know what they are or who they are. So I'm not trying to scaremonger. I'm trying to say this is a reality. And if action isn't taken soon, it's going to get much, much worse. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think, oh no, Gaunty, you're going over the top? If you do, tell me. But let me just tell you this thing. Let's have those headlines again. 12,000 illegal channel crossings since January. Over 1,000 today. How many will there be by the end of the weekend? UK prisons are full. And there's loads of foreign criminals in there. At least 10,000. An Iranian terrorist suspect may have entered. They think it's if they're talking about it, they must think it's fairly certain. They reckon he came in via the Channel. I say put the Royal Navy in the Channel and put the army on the beach. Let's defend our coast. Let's leave the ECHR. Let's be Trumpian about it. Just say, no, we're going. Look, when he wanted to get his tariff sorted out, he wasn't polite, was he? People said he was a bully. But did he get what he wanted? Yes. Did he get all the deals he wanted in China and Saudi Arabia and Britain? Yes. And is he going to hammer the EU? Oh, yes, I hope so. Because they're not playing ball with him. Well, we've got to be like that. We're a great, great nation. Why are we still being subjugated to the whims of tossers in Brussels? Are you with me? Yeah. So let's get out of the European Court of Human Rights. I'd like to replace it with our own rights, Bill of Rights. I'd like us to have things in our constitution. I'd like us to have a written constitution, number one. But in there should be things about freedom of speech. That guy just made a very good point. But we can't hang about. And the first step in all this, Nigel Farage is right. Starmer has to declare a national emergency. And that will curtail some of our freedoms for a time. I'm sure it will. But how else do we get through this? Are you with me or against me? I really want to have your views and your opinions, because this cannot continue. So, should he declare a state of emergency? Put a comment underneath the video. Should we send the Navy in? And should we put the army on the beaches to protect our borders? Drop your thoughts in the comments if you can, and like, share, and subscribe to stay ahead of the narrative. I think long and hard about whether certain things I should talk about, but I'm talking about this. And if they pull me off, pardon me, the expression, but if they do, if they ban me, if they lock me up, they won't shut me up, because I'm not saying anything I shouldn't say. I have a perfect right to say Starmer's useless and that he's not doing the first duty of a Prime Minister. Somebody wrote to me on Twitter today saying, why are you always attacking Starmer? Why don't you ever go at the other big political figures? Well, there aren't any other big political figures. They're all in Labour, Lammy and Thieves and the rest of them. I'll have a go at them. But why would you ever go at Kemi Badenoch? She's an irrelevance. The only opposition to have a go at would be Farage. And I think I did have a go at him a few weeks ago about this spat he had with Rupert Lowe, which is, again, he's still now festering on, isn't it? Because there's no charges going to be brought against him and all the police have dropped their investigation. I just wish Farage could have sorted that out before. I think the chairman will have to go because he's the one who made these accusations against Rupert Lowe. But that's a separate issue. So I have criticised reform and I will continue to criticise them. I'm in nobody's pocket. But this guy, and I said to him, well, because he's the leader. He's in charge of the country, so he's going to get it at the moment, especially when he's not done anything I can applaud. Not anything that I think is right. I think he's just downright useless. But I would love tomorrow to talk about something else. But he's dominating the headlines. He's like the Frank Spencer, some others do have him, of British politics. He's useless. Right, let's move on. Craig Urquhart says, we're an island. How many European countries are waving them through to the promised lands? Well, loads of them are. That's the whole point. If you saw that Patrick's report on GB News, it was quite good, actually. They come through. And they're going to keep coming because they know they're going to get a house. And a lot of the reason people want to come to Britain is because English is their second language. It's the second language of the world, isn't it? So we're always going to be more of a pull than the French or the Germans. But they take a fair share as well. But we should stop the French waving them through. Dead simple. We start putting some of our gunships down the channel, the French will soon get the message. And if we have our boys, the SAS, the Marines, commanders, I don't really want to use these boys doing this. But for a short while, if they were getting these migrants, chucking them in politely, into their boats, taking them straight back to Calais. Do you think the French are going to stand up to that? Oh, yeah. Not on your Nelly. Macron will be over here crawling as quickly as he can. We've got to say to Macron, don't be the enemy and we won't treat you like the enemy. But we're not in Europe. Wake up. We left the EU. Why are we still bound by their pathetic rules? It's really getting me down. What about you? Come on, let's have some more comments. Where are we going next? Let's go to Celtic Cross. I just took him off. I do apologise. Oh, she off. I do apologise. With you, absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. Ronnie Hurst says, make the boats illegal in the EU. Then any boats come straight to army jail in the barracks. Yeah, but... we're not with the Europeans on this. That's the problem. They don't want to work with us on this. You telling me they don't see all those inflatables going through those little village towns near Calais? Have you been to the Calais, Dunkirk area? They're not bothered. They don't give an SH1T. As long as these guys get in the boats, they'll escort them then to British waters, to our territorial waters. So they then become our responsibility. Why are we allowing the French to do that to us? Who do they think they are? If it wasn't for us, they'd now be stepping up the Champs-Élysées or whatever it's called. Yes? They'd have proper toilets, maybe. Close the borders right now, says Celtic Cross. Well, that's really where I'm coming from. We've got to close it. But to do that, we'll need a state of emergency. And we'll all have to play our part. We all have to play our part. And I want massive sentences. But see, for the people smugglers, but they're not smugglers in that sense, are they? They're trying to make out the government, and not just this government, the previous governments as well. They want to make out that these are all vulnerable people, terrible shame for them, and they're being exploited by these evil people. Well, undoubtedly, the people smugglers, you wouldn't want to invite them to babysit for your kids. I don't think they're nice people, But these people create the market. They want to come over because they know if they can get across that 22, 21 mile bit of water, it's the land of milk and honey, or they believe it is. Also, it's very interesting watching that report on GB News. He was interviewing them, and they all had little tents, but they're inside this huge warehouse, which kind of proves my point, doesn't it? That we could do the same here. 5 likes on the like button. It's not enough. Come on, click again, please. Just this one. Jeremy Wright. Justin Wright. I do apologise. I simply cannot believe the state of our country, John. And now it's even more unbelievable that our government is allowing it to happen. Stop the world. I want to get off. Have you ever seen that musical? Absolutely brilliant. It was, who did it originally? Anthony Newley, didn't he? But I saw it with the guy out of Upstairs, Downstairs. Not Upstairs, Downstairs. Duchess of Duke Street, I think it was. It's a great musical. If you've never seen it, next time it's in your area, or if an amateur company are doing it, go and see it. It's fabulous. Ronnie Hurst says, I think you're spot on, John. It's out of hand. It certainly has. It's been a state of emergency for some time now, says Justin Wright on YouTube. I agree. Chopper's back with us. What are you saying this time, Chopper? The army would serve the country far better on the beaches of Kent than in the trenches of the Ukraine. What a brilliant comment, Chopper. Brilliant comment. I might nick that and do something with that tomorrow. It's very true. There's no support, really, is there, for our boys to go in and be peacekeeping troops in Ukraine? No, we don't want that. But if you ask the British public tomorrow, do you think we should deploy the army to the beaches of Dover? Even if you said the beaches of Calais, they'd say yes. I would say the overwhelming majority of patriotic Brits would say, get them in there, get the Navy in there. And if the French don't start behaving, let's take Calais. I'm going a bit mad now, but let's take Calais back, right? If they want it, they can have it, right? Because we're not putting up with it anymore. Why should we as a country? Our prisons, I think you've got to understand how important this is. How our prisons are completely now overcrowded. I know it's like, oh, we can't have the poor loves 3 in a shelf cell. We can't do that. Human rights. So they won't have it. So our prisons are so overcrowded, they'll be rioting this summer as well, the way it's going on. We need to relieve the pressure. And I don't think it's right that prison officers, Mr. Barraclough, or even Officer Mackay, right, are getting boiling water with sugar in it thrown over them. I think it's abhorrent. Likewise, that any Muslim terrorist like that who did that, you know, Abidi's brother, the Manchester bomber, and indeed nutcase Axel Ruda Cabana, you say Cabuna, I say Cabana, him, he's just got to be executed. I don't know why we're waiting. How many more crimes do you want him to commit? How many more people do you want him to seriously injure before we just say, come this way, old Sparky's waiting for you, or come this way and do the Saddam shuffle? But what I do want to say is the 10,000, I want them deported, the foreign criminals. Problem there, of course, for Starmer is he can't really push that line because do you remember when we were going to send all those people back to Jamaica? Many of them were rapists, muggers, murderers. They'd served their sentence and we wanted to send them back. So we got them on a plane at Stansted and then bleed, bah, bah. It was Human Rights Brigade were out. And guess who signed a letter saying we should not send them back? Because I think they were all claiming they were gay. And if you're gay, and I didn't see any evidence of this when I went to Jamaica, but if you're gay in Jamaica, you might get picked on or you might get put in prison. It might be the law. It doesn't really happen. I'm sure there's prejudice like there is in all kinds of countries. But I'm sorry, how do you suddenly go from being a rapist of women to suddenly becoming gay? It's nonsense, right? But guess what? The plane never took off. They never got deported. A bit like Rwanda, which I wasn't keen on, but that got broken, didn't it? By The Guardian. The Guardianistas come out. The only time they want to fight is when it's against good common sense. I have them on my Twitter feed all the time. Like some guy said to me today, you really are as thick as pig, so I said something about something like, thank you, Einstein. And then he had a right go, as if I'd come on to him. You don't have to read my tweets, mate. You don't have to look at my videos. I'm building a fantastic audience without you. And I doubt whether you, on your social workers' wages, could afford to contribute anyway. So I'm not interested in you. Mick Brown. Oh, I've lost you. I just put you on. Where's you gone? Yeah, it's part of the Brexit deal, is what I believe. Why would the RNLI be involved? Well, because they're rescuing people who are in the channel. Their job is to rescue people, Mick. I know, but that is their job. I tell you what is interesting tonight. I've been noticed, and I was going to say it's only happening on YouTube, but I think it's happening on Facebook as well. If you join in and you've got a picture on your profile, it's coming up on my screen. So if you watch the video back later, you'll probably see yourself on telly. Well, kind of. Now, that's a good reason for you to contribute a £5, isn't it? You can send me a special reward here on YouTube while I'm still performing. Or you could go to buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt and send me a £5 or 3 coffees, 15 quid. It all helps to keep it going. Thank you very much indeed. What's this one? I don't like this, Mick. You're not gonna like me here. I'm proud to be an ex-BNP under Nick Griffin. What are you proud of doing anything with that snivelling little shit? I've met him. He's horrible. Because we were simply right. No, you weren't simply right, because you were racist. It was based on race. Ludicrous, thick. I even hated everyone of any race or people any colour. The British people are to blame since they voted for the Lib Lab con traitors. So they're to blame. It's that simple, John. Not as simple as you, Mick. You're getting a bit carried away there. I think, don't misinterpret me. I'm not a racist. I'm certainly not a fascist. And I certainly would never be anywhere near the BNP. I'll give you something. Nick Griffin is an intelligent bloke, but he makes my skin crawl. Yeah. Maybe I'm a traitor because I've had in our family, in our extended families, we've had people of colour in it. I don't judge somebody by the colour of their skin. I judge them by how they behave. Hi, John. The sound is off. I don't know if you realise this yet. No, it's not. You're just saying that. Is the sound off, guys? Anybody else tell me? It did go off the other night, and I had to get it fixed, but I don't think it's happening now. No, it's not. So Janine's like 57. Oh, well, that'll be one of my trolls. There we are. We'll have to get rid of you then, won't we? Unless you apologise straight away. Right. So I'm sorry to upset you, saying this to you. Oh, I know who that is. Oh, hang on. I just want to deal with this. Ban user, delete comments. They are gone. We don't want you on here, Wikey. Our country's nearly lost. I hope Farage can turn it round, but only if he gets into power. Steve says no. The sound's not gone off. Why would somebody just out of spite do that? Why would somebody do that? If you don't like me and don't like my show, don't get involved. That's perfectly okay by me. But why would you try to spoil other people's enjoyment? Are you the kind of guy who puts frog spawn down your wellies? Rips the wings off butterflies? What was that in? That was in Kes, wasn't it? The frog spawn in the wellies. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Right. Our country's nearly lost, says Ronnie Hurst. I hope Farage can turn it round. And Justin Wright says, John Gaunt for PM. I can't afford I could afford the wage cut because I'm earning nothing. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Thank you very much indeed. But I ain't going to go into politics. I don't want to become one of them, Justin. But thank you for your comments. Right, I'm wrapping up now, unless anybody's going to say something really clever. Mick, I don't know why you keep saying things and being so proud of being a racist, because I'm just going to ban you. One more comment and I'm going to ban you as well, because I'm not interested in filth. Yeah, if you're getting a little tingle in your pants because you go, I went on that program, John Gaunt, I told him I'm a racist, right? You need to get a life and you need to get out of mine, that's for sure. Right then, everyone, that's me done. I'm saying we definitely need, and I'd like you to back me up on this, a state of emergency declared. The more of us who bring pressure, maybe in the end, Starmer will actually act for the British people? Because it seems at the moment he's acting for the migrants, isn't he? Why doesn't he act for the decent, silent majority who aren't racist, who are very tolerant, and just want to live in peace and harmony with people? But we can't carry on having 1,000 people, or even half that number, 500 people a day coming in illegally. We can't. It's unsustainable. Steve says, Coventry were unlucky. Thank you very much indeed. You were the better team and you lost over 2 legs. You're absolutely right. We should never have lost. It was fantastic, the football. Ultimately depressing, but it's also ultimately great sport, wasn't it? Because sport you can never predict. And good luck to them winning. They're going to get thrashed by Sheffield United. Not that I want that. I just think Sheffield United are the better team. But we were the better team last night, Coventry, but it didn't happen for us. Hey, got to get over it. Can't be getting too depressed about things like that, can you? Much more important things like trying to save our country. Okay, I'm finished. If you do want to help me out, it's www.buymeacoffee.com. You then get put on the roll of honor. If you want to do it through YouTube, you can do that as well. Anything from £1 on YouTube. Just press that heart button to say thanks and send me a thank you. That's very kind of you. And I'll be back tomorrow. Oh, that's good. Chopper says, the BNP fan, Mick Brown. His name's quite ironic. Yeah, he won't get that, though. But thank you very much indeed. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, hey, hey. Don't forget to tell them you love them. See ya.